What's up, guys? My name is Jamal Socorro.
My name is Ron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life. This is actually episode 17 because...
Wait, last time wasn't 17?
No, I actually counted it. Actually, the one we did I count was actually 16.
Shit.
So this is technically 17.
Uh-huh.
So we can either call it 16 in the future or 17 number 2. So episode 16 doesn't exist at all.
Well, I mean, it does, just not verbally.
Not on record, because right now we plastered episode 17 on the last podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
so we can either do this is episode 16 coming back from the future, which is now, or this is 17 number 2, so the sequel.
Well, I mean, we could just on the video you can just put where the thing is, the title of it, you just put it on the side in parentheses, actually episode 16.
Episode 16.
Despite what we say.
Alright, so technically it's episode 16, but we're episode 17 now.
Yes. Don't let that confuse you, because it's going to confuse us.
It's already confusing enough as it is.
Exactly.
Now we just added another variable to the confusion.
Right.
I gotta remember to, label these properly.
It'll work out.
I guess it'll work.
Ideally.
Yeah. How are you, Jaron? How was your week? How's your post-con feeling so far?
Well, since I understand that I only was able to go for a day, as I said last podcast and the one before that.
Right.
I think. Did I say it the one before that?
Yes.
All right. So I didn't get it that hard, because we also didn't. I mean, we did a lot.
Yeah,
Saturday.
We did a lot that day.
But I didn't get the full
effect.
Full effect, because I wasn't there Friday and Sunday.
That's true. Especially Sunday.
Yeah. What happened Sunday?
No, nothing. You know how you kind of get the melancholy feeling of everything just kind of being torn down, and the whole decline of everything being normalized and being normie again.
Actually, a lot of people on the ASIN Facebook page have posted pictures of the Hyatt after all the shit is just dead, no one's there, because everyone's still scared that the weebs are still there.
Yeah.
But I mean I mean, outside of just the week being a normal one for me and becoming addicted to a game called Oxygen Not Included, it didn't hit me that hard. I guess the only blues is that I wish I could have gone all 3 days. But outside of that, I've been okay. How about you, Gemma?
Surprisingly, I didn't really have much of a after-con depression this year around, just because I think because I did the most I could this past weekend.
Right.
And there's not. I mean, I think the reason why most people have post-con depression is usually because that they kind of have some regrets. In terms of they just couldn't do they couldn't do everything they want.
Right.
Something didn't go well as they planned, or maybe even they just couldn't like you said they couldn't even go one of the days or certain days of the weekend.
Right. Or do whatever cosplay that they wanted to do and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. This stuff like that. But I don't actually feel too bad at the moment, or even after literally a day after, because I stayed at the Hyatt up until Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was absolutely dead by the time I checked out Monday morning, and it wasn't too bad.
What the hell did you do Sunday night?
Clean up a bit, chill, build some gunpla and all that.
Fair enough.
Also because I decided to do Monday just because they wouldn't. I mean, when I reserved this back last year, they wouldn't allow me just do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I guess there was small notice that these days were reserved, quote unquote. So I guess they knew ASIN was coming around during that time.
Well, yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's just check out Monday then, and they let me do it.
Okay.
So, and plus, I guess
it's weird that they wouldn't let you check out Sunday night. I mean, maybe it's because people are too busy. I don't know.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I didn't really mind it because Monday would have been an easier day to check out anyway, because there's not everyone literally rushing out of the building and all that, especially during Sunday morning. So it was a bit of an easier task for me to handle. But other than that, no, I did everything I could. If anything, I was overblown with the amount of like
stuff that went on.
Because I mean, I literally got to meet the guest band over there was Fauna, the group.
Yeah.
I met them 3 times.
Really?
There was one more time I actually left. I lost like some of my friends walking around in the merch hall. So I went over to get a bag because I had a bunch of stuff with me. I had a bunch of shit, and I wanted to get one of those free poster bags.
Now, was this Sunday?
Sunday, yes.
Oh, okay.
It was a Sunday, and I stopped by, I guess, like Fauna's like company booth, and they were there doing like a live appearance.
Really?
And
shit.
they were doing another session of autographs right then and there.
Did you get an autograph?
I did, yes.
Did you go to final?
No, I did. No, I didn't.
Drool all over her.
Luckily, though, I was one of the last ones there, so I got to talk to them a little bit because I told them, "Oh, could you please wait? Because I have another friend coming. It was Matthias.
Yeah.
I have another friend coming. He wants your autograph." And then I actually got some, I guess, quote unquote, alone time with the group. And I was telling like Kevin, the DJ, it was like, "You did a good job last night." He was like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah." And then get some, cool one-on-one time and just chilling out with Fauna, even if it was a short like industry moment.
Yeah.
But I essentially have 2 sets of autograph. One of them they're posters, and then one of them on my badge actually.
Yeah.
So on that year's badge. So
you yet again, Jomo, you missed a chance. You should have said I was a sweaty bastard that you bumped into the other day.
There was a bunch of other sweaty bastards in that.
Oh, I'm sure,
that
but you're the sweaty bastard.
I'm the sweaty. I'm Mr. Sweaty. Excuse me,
Mr. Sweaty.
Oh man. But I, as I was saying, I was overblown with all this stuff that happened. So, I honestly could say this year had to be my best ASIN.
Hey, that's good.
So, because as you all know from like 2 episodes ago, my first ASIN happened to be in one of my worst experiences.
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing that shit went down.
Yeah.
And up until now, there's always been something wrong every year up until now, which has been a weird thing.
Well, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it happens when you deal with a lot of people. Because that was back when I did a room with just me and one other person. I actually roomed with other people,
right? And
there was always like unneeded drama and like some difficulties, and then people kind of like.
Wait, I thought you roomed with multiple people this time. It was you, Matthias, Amy, and her sister.
No, and Jarrell.
And Jarrell.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it was just us.
Oh, you mean like more than?
Yeah, more than like
8 people or something.
Yeah, because we used to like room with somebody else.
Yeah.
That we knew.
Yeah.
And he'd bring other friends that he knew, but I didn't know.
Right.
Which, it's okay, but then you can't get too comfortable.
Real, yeah, because like you don't know these people. They might start stealing. They could fucking steal your autographs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was actually a year one time where one of my friends that I knew they had to stay in the room because there were other friends that we didn't know that he knew but weren't really so comfortable with staying in the room for too long by themselves because they're shady and all that, and he had to stay just to make sure nothing went down.
Why were they there then?
Because one of the person knew him. One of our roommates knew them.
Oh, okay.
So it's like one of those like friend of a friend kind of situation.
Gotcha.
And it almost seems like the room was more open to other people than just us. Mm-hmm. Well, this time around it was just us, and also there wasn't a lot of drama going on. We all there. We had the same purpose, and we all just stuck together. And we knew who were with us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And if we needed to turn down for like some TLC, then we could just like go back to the room and nap.
Right.
And not only that, but like even walking around the con, everyone, we were all either doing our own thing or we were all together doing something together.
Yeah.
And that's always good. So this is why I think that this year's ASIN was probably my best ASIN.
Okay, because nothing went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing went wrong. The hotel went by fine. Mm-hmm. Walking around and doing things at con went swell. Mm-hmm. I got to meet Fauna 3 times, especially the lead singer Tawana.
Yeah,
I follow her on Twitter.
Yep.
Follow me too.
She won't.
She probably won't. That's fine. No, it's not. It's never fine.
It's okay.
But That's how I'm dealing with this week's post-con.
Okay, well that's good. I just jerked off and I was all right.
Like it's on Sunday or when you came back on that Saturday night.
I think it was that Saturday night.
Yep. All right. Okay, but in more recent news, the infamous, I guess infamous, but widely accepted hentai website hentaihaven.org.
Oh yeah, I remember. I saw that all over Facebook.
Yes, they recently announced on their Twitter that they are removing the lowly tag from their listed sources.
Yep.
Now, don't get me wrong, Jerron. I'm not a pedophile, okay?
Aren't you though?
No, I'm not. Don't get me
Aren't
wrong.
all of you.
But God.
You know what? I haven't called you a pedophile in like 5 episodes.
Until now,
man. I miss it already.
Yep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to.
You're defending it.
I'm defending principle. Now, God forbid, a 9-year-old girl gets titled by some Oni-chan that we don't know about.
You want to say that again?
But
what happened?
But
you
it's
heard,
all
you
good.
Heard it here first, folks.
It's all good as long as they're being as all good as long as some other fictional woman is being raped by some other fat bastard. Because rape is still a tag there.
Well, yeah.
And also Shota's still on there too.
See,
which is still
from what
the
I
opposite.
From what I understand, I saw a couple posts from
the FBI.
Or not, yeah. from the admins, or I guess the people that run the site and
admins
and such. They were saying that the reason why they had to take it down is because they were facing lawsuits,
right.
Not necessarily because of
the content.
Well, it is because of the content. It's because, like, so for example, the first thing most people think of when they see just anime in general, they kind of almost automatically tie it to some little girl somehow.
Right.
So it's because it's more popular, it gets more notoriety.
Right.
Because it gets more notoriety, it becomes more of a problem when people that aren't degenerates see it and they're like, that's got to go. But they were saying that the reason why it shouldn't, they had to take it down regardless because they were facing a lawsuit. The reason why they didn't want to originally take it down was not just because it's a tag, but they were trying to defend themselves, saying lolly doesn't mean little girl, it means someone with little girl features. So
right.
Obviously you pieces of shit that are like, oh, it's okay, she's 500 years old.
I see those all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You do.
With their vampire girls and immortal gods.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, all right, sure, but like,
I don't see. I don't want to defend it. I honestly don't want to defend it, but I have
girls that look like
I don't have
children.
I don't want to defend this. I honestly don't.
You are though.
I'm only defending the principle going around it because this kind of goes back to was it a speech? I believe no, it was a speech it was made by some woman that was back sometime 2 years ago that she was making a statement towards the UN.
Interesting.
And that essentially it's not this is related to this somehow is because she was trying to call for like the limitation of hentai because it's abusive content towards women.
But
and
it's not.
It's exactly there, and the actual I don't know who it was, but there was a government official from Japan stating that she should be worrying about real issues with actual women rather than trying to limit the creative freedom of artists that are creating fictional women in certain sexual situations.
Right. I certainly agree with you. And I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that lolly should have been taken off. I think, again, by artists' creative freedom, they should be able to, have it and do as they will with it.
Yeah. Because I think this is a way
just a degenerate in my mind.
Yeah,
you can do it, fine, but
we'll judge you.
I'm looking down on you. Like,
that's the thing, though. I feel like having this done is sort of like the first step into like. I guess censorship in a way, because
Yeah.
you are essentially limiting creative freedom
Right.
if you can't do a specific tag. Because if Loli's the first, what's next is, you know, 'cause obviously they're gonna start doing what, maybe rape or something,
Yeah.
or like shota, or
Right.
like bestiality, because that's abusive towards animals, or something like that, or even like tentacles, because that's also abusive to and also abusive to the tentacles themselves. I mean,
now look, I will be the fucking first person in that protest if they say, well, we can't do tentacle rape. I'm like, you now hold on. It might not be consensual, but it's the fucking mindless, not human bullshit. Don't come at me with your human bullshit. This is good bullshit. I would prefer that tentacles were consensual, but as the medium is, it is not a common occurrence, so I have to work with what I have. So don't take away what I have.
See, and that's the thing. I don't want to go political and all this and all that, but it's gonna end up being political if stuff like this starts happening. Because like, again, I'm not trying to defend pedophilia, not at all, but this is gonna be a continuing problem if other tags start being a problem, quote unquote, in future debates or discussion. And then, because I mean, again, it was all fine and dandy, but then they start. It's fine if you want to talk about discussion, if you want to discuss about, you know, actual problems with trafficking or abuse, or
you gotta stop that shit.
You know, actual pedophilia. But you know, if you're trying to like delve into fictional and also literally individuals that don't exist, you're really trying to what you're trying to do is you're trying to fight for rights of people that don't exist.
See, I think it's morally coming from that. What I think people are arguing that they would argue for is that because it's depicting it, it's showing these people that consume the media that it might be okay, and they're making this assumption that they'll eventually not be able to tell the difference between fiction and reality and what's okay and what's not. And I'm like, sure, you're right, but if they were willing to do that just because of that, then they were already a lost cause.
Exactly, and that kind of goes back. That goes back to the whole old argument of violent video games.
Right.
It's not correlated. I mean, if anything, this is a way for them to vent. If that's even a good thing, probably no. No, not even no. Scratch that.
Yeah, it's
that.
not.
This is okay. It's not correlated in a way of how their actions portray them in real life. Mm-hmm. It's just something they happen to consume.
Right.
Now, degenerates they are.
Yeah.
It's accurate. Not, but it's not like they're actually. It's not like what's being portrayed is actually happening. Mm-hmm. And neither is the problem that we should stop it.
Right.
Or quote unquote stop it. Mm-hmm. Because it's literally pages on a book.
Right. Exactly. And it's not, as you said, it's not necessarily encouraging anyone. It's just as it is. It's a media. It's like, oh, I'm gonna. What's a less extreme?
Scat.
And yeah, I'm gonna shit on people because I find it hot, or I'm gonna literally go into a public toilet and just eat some girl's shit because I think it's hot and hentai. Like, no, it's disgusting. Like, people watch Futanari and they're like, yeah, it's fucking hot. They don't go to Shuma. They don't go to. What's the right word to say? They don't go to feminine-looking people with dicks and be like, yeah, I'm into that. They not necessarily. They don't. They might, maybe. I would argue that it's a very small percentage, but the majority of people are like, yeah, it's hot because it's hentai. It's not because real life sucks. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
like you have to understand. Like people like hentai because it's hentai, not because
it's something that they can experience themselves.
Right, exactly. They might not necessarily want to experience it in real life because it's awful.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, okay, I'm not gonna say that having tentacles wouldn't be fucking boss as fuck, but I'm also not gonna go around like fucking violating people in some godforsaken shit that gives me them. I'm gonna be like, oh, this is fucking cool. I'm all right now. I have them.
And
I'm not gonna become a fucking megalomaniac.
Not just that, but you know, a good like majority of the doujinshi artists and writers are actually women.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, if you're trying to limit creative freedom, you're also actually inhibiting actual women trying to do their jobs,
right,
or their passion, if anything.
Right.
So, think about that before you crush our porn. Thinking of the children.
Think of that's what we're trying to avoid, Jamal. Trying to not think about it.
Hey, if some busty 34-year-old doujinshi artist, which I have seen, wants to write about a scatty, lowly Shota series,
no,
then she is fully capable of drawing such an abomination, which will reach hopefully a small percentage of individuals that they will enjoy and consume to their heart's content.
That whole is all that made me feel awful.
And that's another thing too. Technically, Shota shouldn't even be on there. Also,
it shouldn't be.
But Shota is the reverse, isn't it?
It's the it's little boys.
Yeah, exactly. The little boys. Like if you want to protect, if you want to so-called protect children in this case, shouldn't Shota be a tag of concern, and also other things there too.
Well, you're right, but again, as I said before, it's the notoriety because lolis are way more popular than Shotas probably ever will be.
Yeah.
Generally, because I guess and actually no, I can't even say that the majority of the population is men. It's just men are more vocal about it, or more
about porn.
Yeah, or what's the word? More expected.
For I don't know
for what, for like, because I was gonna say that it's a majority of men that consume hentai, but I was like, that's definitely not true.
No,
it has to be probably like somewhere around half, but women are less expected or
no, I think
considered.
You're right. I think you're right about the whole vocality about it. Like they're more open to it.
Yeah,
more open to talk about their porn consumption.
Yeah,
I guess you'd say.
I mean, some people are proud of it. I'm proud of my tentacles.
Yeah, I am as well. I am proud of my vanilla because I'm a boring piece of shit.
Yeah. It's okay, Jamal. Vanilla can be real good as long as they're thick.
But that's what I wanted to discuss about on that specific story because like, you know, I don't want to defend it, but it's one of those small steps that could lead to a bigger
it's definitely a slippery
outcome.
Slope. It's a very unfortunate thing that could happen where they start to take away all these tags because they become more and more of a problem.
I mean, it could have been Lily. I'm honestly surprised they didn't take a rape in the first place,
right?
As the first tag, because it literally is a problem, like issue, I guess, in general.
Right.
Rape is, but that's not. But that wasn't the tags that was taken out because of a problematic problematic tag. It encompasses around.
Well, there's also the whole thing where it's like, oh well, one issue. Well, people will say that no issue is bigger than the other, but the issues are bigger than others. Not because they should be.
It's because they are.
It's just because they are. Like, people consider things more important than other things. So people will consider sexual anything towards children more important than actual rape. Like,
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate that we don't hold these things at the exact they're both awful and both should be stopped. Oh, we'll do this, but in reality, we'll take care of this one first.
But in stepping back to that entire situation, these are not real people.
Again, these are not real people. It shouldn't even matter. Like,
exactly.
It's not like, again, it's not so much that it's encouraging people. It's literally a media. By that, you're saying that literally anyone that watches anything is an idiot, will do exactly as they see. It's like, no, people are stupid, but they're not fucking
monsters.
Monsters. Okay, granted, there are some monsters. There's murderers, there's actual rapists.
Yes.
But they're already that
exactly.
Before the media. So it's not like it creates anything. It's just you're already there. Mm-hmm. And if you want to say that, oh, this rapist got the idea from this, I'm like, okay, sure, he was gonna do it anyway, but he did it through that method. I'm like,
it doesn't prove that was a source.
It wasn't a source. He was gonna do it anyway. He just did it that way. And for I don't want to. I was gonna go into their school shootings and stuff and people blaming video games and whatnot. But obviously we're against the whole idea that video games cause any of that.
It's been proven also.
It's been proven many times, but people don't want to listen because why? As a great Philip DeFranco once said, "Why?" I'm gonna butcher this quote so bad. Why use logic when you can think with your feelings?
Yeah, that's actually one of his T-shirts too.
It is one of his T-shirts, but it's not that exact quote.
Oh, okay.
I fucked it up somehow, but it's you get the idea.
Well, these are the same people that are arguing against fictional characters such as this situation.
Well, yeah,
right
exactly.
Now. That's why.
Exactly. They're putting their feelings first before they think like, oh yeah, obviously people, if they're already doing it, if they're willing to do it, they're already before the medium. They've already been there.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it's just I think it's honestly BS, and it's just going. It's gonna get bad. Unfortunately, there's no way around it.
That's the only thing I hope it doesn't get to.
Well, the other problem is that it's not a problem per se, but it became a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because anime and things like that are getting more and more popular, more and more mainstream. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
There's the part where you'd be perfectly fine with showing your parents, and then there's everything else.
Right.
There's like the 20%, maybe not 20%, it's definitely bigger than that, 30, 50, 40.
Let's say 30.
30% that's like, yeah, this is anime, it's great, here's your Naruto, here's your Megalobox, here's your Gun Gale Online, here's all that cool stuff. And then here's High School DxD that's getting its 4th season, and you're like, you don't
show your 50-year-old dad that.
Right, exactly. You don't. Unless they're into that, then by all means, you have a great family at that point.
Yeah.
But if you like me and you have those old-fashioned parents, where it's like you wouldn't dare, you couldn't even entertain the idea of having that conversation. It would fucking terrify me.
Oh man.
But I lost my point. What was it?
I want to round it up a little bit. All I want is my porn to be untouched.
Yeah.
And for everyone else's porn to be untouched.
Right.
So hashtag hentai for all. I will start this. Hashtag hentai for all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's hentai for number 4 all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hashtag hentai for all. Remember that. We'll put it in the description. Or maybe we'll put it as a part of the title.
Nah, tweet it out right now.
Huh?
Tweet it out right now.
Yeah, you're right.
But in related news as well.
Yeah.
You hear that Steam is actually getting rid of all VNs that contain sexual content. Get sexual content.
I didn't hear about that specific part. I knew that some were leaving, but I didn't know it was a purge.
Yeah, it was a purge.
Damn.
Because it's just VNs containing sexual content that involves like Necopara, other ones that have what.
Right, I do remember. Go on. I have a point to that.
And any other game that contains any kind of like explicit sexual content.
Are they gonna ban The Witcher?
I don't know actually.
Are they gonna ban San Andreas? Are they gonna ban Grand Theft Auto? Are you gonna ban literally any American game, or I guess not American game, but not anime game that features sexual content? I don't fucking think so. They're just targeting it for no reason because that's the kind of the point of the VN. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about that.
It's more horseshit. Like if you've ever played The Witcher or you've played God of War, isn't God of War on? God of War?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, one of the main things people know about God of War is you press fucking half circle, square, triangle to fuck Aphrodite. Like you fucking see that, or maybe you don't see it. It's
implied. It's heavily implied.
It's heavily implied, and like. And then maybe it's heavily implied, and then there's The Witcher. You literally see them have sex. Like you don't. There's no. I mean, sure, there's censorship. You don't see any genitalia, but you
can see people fucking on a horse.
You see them fucking on a horse. Like ban that game. Yeah, I bet you fucking won't because it made you thousands, millions, maybe. I don't know.
Sold a lot of copies.
A lot of money. A lot of money. You don't care. You only care because it's anime.
That's a really bold statement, but I think it's a bias. You think it's a bias thing?
They're purging only VNs. They're not purging.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they did. They're purging VNs with sexual content.
Right,
yes.
Exactly. And here's the thing, though. Now, if they wanted to say that, oh, it's because it's explicit, like they actually show nudity, like by all means, I get that. That's against your terms of service.
But most VNs on Steam are actually censored.
Right, they're censored.
Like,
exactly.
It's there's, I mean, you can either get it. You see, the thing is with VNs on Steam, you can also get versions of it from the actual creator's site, which is not censored. But Steam's version is censored, so I don't know why they have a problem with it in the first place.
Right, exactly. And if they want to say, well, it's because you can go out and get the nudity version, well, then ban Skyrim, Oblivion, literally any game that you can mod. So all of them. You can
just ban Steam.
Just ban Steam. You can nude anything. Like, so what if the original content was already as it is? Fucking no, that's not. It's bullshit. And it's unfortunate that I don't think there's obviously a lot of people that are outraged about it.
Right.
But I don't think there's enough outward support to.
Well, there sort of is.
There is?
Not in a way to combat it, but in a way to salvage it. Recent in reply to the tweet, Faku Gaming actually also released a support site that actually contains all of the banned VNs.
Hey boy, good old Faku.
The banned VNs from Steam. So any of those VNs that you were trying to get on Steam that are now gone, you can actually get them now from Faku Gaming, their own site as well.
I'm assuming you still have to pay and whatnot.
Yeah, essentially what happens is that you can't get it in Steam, get it from us instead.
Okay,
because
they're smart then.
Not just that, but they put out the tweet that because of the events they want to support us, the gamers and the consumers, and they're gonna put it on their site instead, opening up to players. And it's in Steam's being overly butthurt about this, and they could literally do the same thing with any other game with the same context of concerns, quote unquote.
Right, but they won't. Because again, it's about the amount of money. It's the amount of money, and two, it's like
the notoriety.
It's the notoriety. Because anime has that notoriety. Again, the 30% that's nice, and then there's everything else. Those VNs fall into everything else.
I think they're hating. That's what they're doing.
They're hating, exactly. They don't understand the medium is too advanced for their low IQ. Me with an IQ of 274
I think
knows exactly. See, I watch Rick and Morty, so I know exactly.
I think this is one of those situations, Durant, where it's like we need someone from our generation to take over, because you know why? The future's now, old man.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're absolutely fucking right. But, I mean, it won't happen for a while until they're all filtered out in the next 30, 40 years.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's the one thing that's... I mean, I'm sorry that everything I've bring up has been bad news.
I mean, it's news and we need to talk about it.
Yeah, especially within this community as well. Yeah. It's something that affects us like heavily, because it's literally our medium being
tampered with.
Exactly.
And it's essentially only our medium being tampered with. No one else is really getting attacked like this.
Exactly. And that's...
Though, to be fair, the game Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
They wanted to. There was a lot of controversy about that game because in one of the scenarios, you have the choice to stop this father from physically abusing his daughter, not like sexual, but like just literally beating the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And you have the choice whether to stop him or not. And people are saying that shouldn't be in there because blah 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 blah. But obviously, the people are like, hey, this is gonna make you a lot of money. We're like, all right, just push it on through. Fuck them. But it's unfortunate that it's happening only to us right now. I mean, again, like I said, other things get some notoriety, but it's fine.
Exactly. And the worst thing is, once they're done with us, they're gonna start wheeling down to other communities as well.
That's true.
Like, sure, it's happening to us right now, but if they end up, finishing our community, they're gonna start going for the gaming community.
Right.
And we honestly can't let this happen. If we're one of the first communities to get the shitty stick end of this deal,
right,
then we have to at least speak out and call out their bullshit on this.
Right.
And industries like Faku are helping us, surprisingly enough.
I mean, of course they are. It's if you're a fan of Faku like I am, you know what they're about.
And even though they couldn't do as much, HentaiHaven.org, they even done their best to defend just not the tag but the principles of just creative freedom and how media works in general, and also fictional media especially.
Right, because I feel like it's because it's not real, and because we're not children that we can tell the difference. And if you want to argue, well, the children are seeing it, well, that's your fault.
What are they doing with a Steam account?
Exactly.
That's not restricted by age.
But that's a whole other conversation about parents of, I guess not necessarily this generation and so.
I mean, the older generation is dying off one by one. Once they're gone, we'll have to. I mean, there's more of our generation, honestly, than there is of any older generation that are of ignorance. So, I didn't want to begin part of this vlog. Oh, sorry, a vlog. Podcast to be about a rant, but it was something I had to mention because big things are happening, and it's these small little ripples that make giant waves over time. And I would rather have this not be a giant wave where we can literally fight. Like, we're in a time right now where we have to fight for our own pornography freedom. In this case,
when you say it like that, it sounds ridiculous, but at the same time, it is an important,
because it roots down to our civil rights and our freedoms.
Right, exactly.
Despite the context of porn.
Right. Now, if you were in another country and their literal law says, hey, you can't do this, we're like, all right. But, here in America,
this is the US of A.
The idea is to be, hey, we can draw.
Not just that.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. We can draw little girls getting diddled if we want.
Now, don't take that out of context.
Don't. That's. This is in context of you are free to do pretty much anything within the law of America. And that includes your creative freedoms. This is the context. Do not take it out of such. But it's just,
we have to fight for it.
We have to fight for
remember,
it.
Remember, Hentai for all.
Right.
And this also goes with VNs as well.
Right.
It's something that we have to speak out and just call on people's bullshit on this.
Right.
Because obviously it's also a thing where we're not popular enough to really get a big of an outrage. I'm sorry.
Right.
And we're just gonna be swept under the rug and still be butt fucked.
Right, that's true. Though the one thing that we do have to unfortunately consider is that because Steam is its own entity, Valve is its own thing, and they're not like some government thing. There's only so much you can speak out about before it's just our decision.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if it was a law saying that, hey, you have to get rid of this, then you can bring out the lawsuits and be like, no.
Hey, if there's ever a time in this country where I'm not allowed to look at vanilla hentai or even if my curiosities were up to my peak and I want to look at some scatty, tentacle, rapey hentai, and I'm being denied access because of some illegitimate law, then I will be up in arms and protest and fight this war.
There was actually some time ago about this dude in Sweden.
Really?
I think it was Sweden. I'm not sure. If whoever's listening, if you want to look into that, because I don't have the energy to look into it right now. Or I guess we're in the middle of a podcast, so I can't look into it. But there was this guy who was gonna be arrested because he has a bunch of lolly porn, like just saved, and I think just like posters around his house. Like he was gonna get arrested for it, but I think he won the lawsuit saying that because it's not real, it's not such and such, but they made it a law after that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Or I think, did they make it all? I don't. Again, you look into it. Look up guy wins lolly lawsuit.
I want to praise him for technicality, because that's amazing, because it should be that way.
Right.
That's how it should be. Now, what he was caught with.
May God forgive his soul.
He's
a degenerate. and I will never change my mind about that.
But he has his rights.
Feel free to be a degenerate.
But he has his rights.
Right.
Because he's not exploiting actual little girls.
Exactly. If he was doing that, fucking kick his chest and do whatever you got to do.
But these are literally drawn characters
exactly.
on a piece of paper. I want to praise him for that technicality.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And that's how it should be. Unfortunately, if it did become a law, that's fucked.
Yeah, but I mean, again, another country, another set of rules, so who knows? We can't. It's unfortunate that we can't really.
Yo, what if there was a lowly protest? Oh man.
As much as I want to support it, I couldn't be there to support it. Like I want to, like it's because it's it's about the rights of freedom, but like I don't want my name attached to that.
Like some guy gives you like a fucking banner, it's like lowly for all.
Oh man.
Lowly, who are we? We are here for lowly, please.
I just wear the Cthulhu mask.
Do not take anything we're taking out of context.
Please
because
don't.
We will hunt you down and report you.
Yep, exactly. We'll bring down the full extent of RSS feed law or
podcasting law.
Podcast law.
Let's brighten up our day, Jerron. What do you got for us?
Overwatch is having its 2nd year anniversary.
Hey, I can't believe it's been 2 years.
It's fucking 2 years and as popular as ever.
Yeah, I felt like it's been like a good 3, honestly.
It honestly feels longer, but again, that's how it's become such a ingrained thing within the gaming community that it's like,
accepted.
It's just 100% accepted that it's one of those things that's gonna stick around for a while. Like you can look at games like that were supposed to be big, like
Paladin.
Well, Paladins is a I don't want to say copy, but it got its idea from Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I'm running a blank. But it's one of those kind of things where it's like no one thought it was gonna be that big, but I guess because Blizzard is Blizzard, they were like, hey, let's throw all this money at it, and then it stayed a big thing.
In a way, it's sort of like the beginning few years of CS.
Yeah.
Counter Strike.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
Yeah. CS:GO.
Just Counter Strike in general.
Oh.
Because I remember watching. I was looking at some old posts and all that, and there's this infamous photo of these guys doing a LAN party of Counter Strike, where one of the players is actually duct taped to the ceiling. It's because one of the computers one of the old as like box computers are up high, so they duct taped their buddy up to the ceiling. They're all playing Counter Strike together.
Oh, Lord, I've seen that picture. I thought that was staged. I didn't think it was real.
No, that was a thing.
Oh my god!
Because these LAN parties would get pretty sweaty. So
yeah, of course. Oh Lord, he's in that duct tape. There must have been a pool. Ugh.
But that's right. But that's where I think it's going right now. Because right now, I don't know if it's at its height or if it's still growing when it comes to popularity.
Well, it's got its Overwatch League.
Right.
I don't know how many people watched it, but I think it was pretty popular.
Do we know if 2020 Olympics their esports is an official thing right now?
I don't know.
Because if it is, I think that could be the height of Overwatch. Because okay, this is only by speculation.
Yeah.
And that there was talk since the 2020 Olympic Games is being held in Japan.
Right.
And specifically, there was an Asian kind of Olympics going on where esports was one of the main events as well. And Japan, Japan's part of Asia.
Yeah.
There's also been debate about actually putting in esports in the actual Olympics.
Oops. Sorry, people. My phone's going off. We may or may not edit that out.
That's very unprofessional, Jerron.
Yeah, it's extremely unprofessional. All right, go on with the Olympics.
The esports edition in that other kind of Asian Olympics turned out really well. That there's been talk and debate about actually putting esports as the actual main event in the 2020 Olympics.
Well, I mean, if you think about it this way, it'd be a hell of a business move for
the Olympics.
Because unfortunately, people are getting lazier and lazier, and less people are playing sports. Or
I think it's more they're lacking interest in the actual
and also lack of interest.
Sports,
exactly. So I mean, so the viewership for the Olympics is I don't know if it's plummeting, but it's definitely going down.
It's been down. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but there have been more like, I guess, stream views of like the recent CS:GO tournaments than the Olympics in the past, like maybe the past 2 Olympics or so.
Goddamn.
When it comes to viewership.
Well, yeah, then that would be the best move that they could possibly do business wise. Now, if they want, if people want to argue, it's
not a real sport,
it's a sport, if you have to train, if you have to fucking be good at what you're doing, it's a sport, physical or not. God, Jesus Christ, hold on. But yeah, as I was saying, if it's a sport, it's a fucking sport.
Even if you have to train for it, it's a sport.
Exactly.
Because just watching these Korean teams just train on specifically League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like they do 8 hours of training every day. That involves like running bot games constantly, and also have high potentials of getting carpal tunnel, damaged ligaments in their fucking fingers because they're clicking so damn much and pressing so many keys at the same time. Like there's an actual training regime to actually be good at specific video games.
Exactly.
And honestly, I think that counts as just as much of an effort to like throw a javelin.
Yeah.
For example.
I mean, sure, you're working different muscles, but like it's still the fucking. I mean, chess. That's an Olympic sport.
Yeah, is it?
I think so. Isn't chess an Olympic sport?
It's a sport, though. It's recognized as a sport.
It is recognized as a sport. I don't know.
You know what else is?
What?
Poker.
Right.
Poker's recognized as a sport, and they have their own channel.
I forgot. Poker is. See, there you go. Poker is. Like, as much as people want to argue, it's not really chance if you know it's fucking chance. You don't know what's under that fucking. You can count as many cards as you want. Unless it's rigged, sure. But I mean, you don't fucking know what's under that card.
That's
it's
true.
Chance. It's a sport of chance.
Literally.
So it's like, yeah, whatever. Fuck you, poker.
I mean, if poker can be a sport, I think Overwatch can also be recognized as a sport as well, or esports as a whole.
Right.
And also, if they do this, do you know how many, I guess, young people they would get involved who would be interested in the Olympics again?
So many people.
And it's not just because of like, the young people are just gonna be looking at esports. No, you're opening up young people to not just the esports, but also the actual like rest of the games. Like maybe they're taking interest in javelin, or maybe the discus, or I don't even know they still do that anymore.
I'm pretty sure they still have all the old sports.
Yeah. But I'm sure some people are. See, I'm sure there are people that actually do watch Olympics too, but would also love to see esports be part of the Olympics as well.
Right. And I'm pretty sure one problem with doing that is like they might be scared that if they put in esports, all the people that currently watch the Olympics for the more physical part of it aren't going to watch the esport part, but. Just by general statistics, we know that, as you said, that more people watch streams of CS:GO and League and all that than watch the Olympics. So it might be a completely different viewership, but you would still make back the viewers.
Exactly.
And they should also think about obviously still televise it, but opening up some sort of online something.
Yeah, because I know YouTube streamed. What did they stream? YouTube was one of the partners of some big live event, and then they streamed it. And because YouTube gets a cut from it, probably.
Right.
But like, it's not so much like changing the viewership and all that. But I think it does open up new avenues for the Olympics as a whole.
Right.
Like, again, I mean, I'm one of those individuals that would love to see Usain Bolt run a 100-meter dash in 15 seconds.
Right, that man is fucking.
But I also want to see fucking Faker do his thing in League of Legends and do a penta in mid lane.
Right.
It's if they do this, it would sort of be a good business move because it opens up options for everyone. Like literally, the Olympics is supposed to be what the games of the world, right? The World Games, and
right.
It's supposed to bring people together, right? As of this moment, I guess gaming is now an additional part of society, and has also been one of the few things that have brought people together.
Right.
And so this would, putting esports in the Olympic itself would bring in not just more people, obviously, but it would if in my opinion, it honestly would bring the whole community together.
Oh yeah,
like
certainly.
this would also be not just the games for the world, but also the gaming world as well.
Right.
Like literally, seeing being able to bring everyone from across the world together to literally play a game, which is rather it's throwing javelin, running track, or playing League.
Right.
It's part of a society now, and I like to see that as part of the world community.
Though I am wondering, because I mean, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but I honestly feel like it's gonna happen. Esports are definitely gonna be in the Olympics at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but like maybe even 2020. But there's gonna be a point in time where the people that run the Olympics, or I mean, I know there's people that host it, but there's
the
owners, the count, whatever they are, the overlords of the Olympics,
the overlords
of the Olympics.
I think there's just a committee,
the committee,
the UN of games.
Right. We'll get to the point where it's like, all right, TV broadcasts are down because young people aren't that interested in watching cable TV anymore. Old people are dying. They're not as interested anymore. And so people aren't watching as many sports. We still get plenty of teams because there will always be people to play.
Right.
But the problem is that we don't have enough people watching. But we're looking over here. Here's a fresh, group of people that we could just if we jumped on this right now, we'd make a shit ton of money. We'd have a whole new viewership. We'd revitalize the Olympics.
They will literally have a generation of people watching the Olympics again.
Right. So it's only smart. It's only smart. And if they want to say that they're afraid that the people that come in for esports would only watch the esports part, there are people that only watch the fucking swimming part. Like, I know I watched the Olympics once, and I only watched the swimming part because I like swimming.
Oh, really?
That's it. That's all. That's it. And I try to catch it every time, but I'm not always able.
I'm sort of the opposite. I do track, or like the dashes and all that. Those are really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. It's just a smart move, and I think they should do it. I understand the hesitation, but it's a move that I think they will make, and I definitely think it's a smart move to make.
Mm-hmm.
But time will tell.
I mean, we have 2 years left until the
Tokyo one, right?
So, I mean, anything can happen in these next 2 years.
That's true.
But I'm hoping for it. I mean, it'd be kind of cool.
Right.
I mean, I'm literally seeing CS:GO on ESPN2.
Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was weird, but it was entertaining because I mean, from when I knew the game, and it was entertaining for me to see these two teams go at it.
Now my question is, what's gonna be the one game in the Olympics?
I mean,
because there's gonna be a first. There's gonna be League, CS:GO.
I mean,
Overwatch.
By just going off popularity, I think the contenders would be my top 3 contenders would be CS:GO, League of Legends, and Overwatch. Just because of the sheer popularity coming out of it.
I honestly think it's probably going to be League because there's the whole gun debate.
Oh, for Overwatch?
Mainly for CS:GO. I mean, Overwatch is a bit more cartoonish, but still, because it features guns, I don't think they're going to go with it.
I guess.
I don't think any of the guns are realistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
even Soldier 76 has this weird fucking future gun.
I mean, it's but marksmanship is a sport.
Marksmanship is a sport. You're right.
In general,
but it's when it become. But I don't think what's it called? It's not shot put. Is it shot put?
Shot put's like the big ball.
The ball.
Yeah.
Where they shoot the birdie, the little disc that they shoot.
Those are they use a shotgun.
Yeah.
But it's oh man, it's coming. I am blanking out right now. I think it's. You know what? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, the problem, the thing is that yes, I don't know if those are in the Olympics, but the reason why those are finally recognized as a sport is because
skeet shooting.
There we go, skeet shooting. It's because you're not shooting at someone else. You're shooting at a target for accuracy. This one, you're shooting at other players, where it depicts a violence.
A form of violence.
A form of violence, because shooting a gun isn't inherently violent. It's what your target is that makes it violent. So I don't know if they can do that, if they be allowed to do that. I see League happening more, having a better chance because it's all fantasy. You shoot lasers out of your hand. No one complains about that.
No, yeah, you're true.
Like I don't think, as old as anime is, I don't think anyone's ever complained about like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or anything like that, where they're just fucking shooting stupid shit out of their hands.
Shooting's an actual Olympic sport.
Well, yeah, but not at people.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. Like how
about fencing? Fencing literally like you're trying to stab your other opponent.
You're right.
If you're talking about PvP elements of Olympic sports, fencing is one of the oldest forms of dueling.
You're right. You're absolutely right. But see, there's a difference between a sword and a gun. Not much of a difference because they're both weapons,
right?
But they both carry a different weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sword is almost akin to fist fighting, because you have to be in there. It's not easy. You can't just sword and if the other person has a sword, you can't just sword and kill them.
Right? There's
some sort of dance to be had. With guns, you shoot until it's over. I don't know. Maybe I'm bullshitting. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about because I don't prescribe to most sports. But
no, not at all. No one.
But I think it's definitely because it's the weight that the two weapons carry, and plus the whole political atmosphere today around guns. So that would never fly. You can give a kid a sword and no one will give a shit. You give him a gun, people will be like, But, so yeah. And that's also why people, if you view, people only talk about games like Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite, any other game that has guns. Mm-hmm. They just talk about all the violence in there, or Call of Duty or things like that. No one's talking about again, The Witcher. No one's gonna look at The Witcher and say this is ultra violent. You can't play that because it has sexual violence. You got swords and you kill people. That. No one has said that yet. Maybe they have, but I'm not informed enough to understand that. But because I don't know about it, it's obviously not important enough.
Nope, not at all.
That sounds awful because I don't know. It's not important. That's terrible. But I mean, it's. I mean, there's like a 5% validity to that.
5%.
Because I mean, I don't consider myself someone that searches for news, but it falls upon you because it's popular enough.
Yeah, that's true.
And the problem with swords in games hasn't fallen upon me, so I don't think it's that much of a big deal as guns are,
right?
Or as people are making guns out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't think it's gonna either be CS:GO or Overwatch. Overwatch probably has a better chance because it's cartoony,
right?
But I think League's the one to go because it's 100% fantasy.
That's true.
But I mean that's as far as this chitty weeb knows.
No, yeah, that's that's true.
But going back more to about Overwatch itself, their 2-year anniversary, it's pretty cool. So the event ends June 11th, I think.
Yes.
And
it's 2 weeks, isn't it? Like 2 weeks long in general.
Yeah. And every week when did they start? Was it May
24th?
24th?
That Tuesday.
Since
I think. No, that's sorry, 22nd. 22nd.
Since this 22nd, they said every week they're going to roll out one of the old events. Like there's going to be Retribution's going to come back. Which Lucio Ball is going to come back. The Junkenstein one, the May Ice one, Snowball one.
Mm.
All those are going to come back week by week. And what is it? I think throughout the whole time every skin is available.
Mm-hmm.
So
grind
up as you need to. I haven't unfortunately
or
started
pay,
grinding. Or pay. You know, if you got the money, go for it. Get your cute skins. Yeah. Also, make sure you buy. I don't know if they're still selling it, but make sure you get the Mercy breast cancer awareness one.
Yeah, that's true.
$15, but it's their first paid skin.
But all goes towards
most of it.
Well, yeah.
If you buy it on Steam. Or no, if you buy it on
from Blizzard,
like on PC,
right.
It goes. I think it goes 100% to breast cancer awareness.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy it on PlayStation or Xbox, PlayStation and Xbox do take a piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because they're hosting the game,
right?
They're contractually obligated to do. They kind of have to. They just have to.
They're not assholes. It's part of the contract.
Right. So don't
fault them for that.
Don't fault them for that. Exactly. they have to. It's not. But yeah, make sure you do that because for a good cause, and the skin looks fucking great. Like, oh my god, it looks good.
She's never been more gorgeous than I think the Halloween skin.
Yeah, that Halloween skin is. I was about to say like no, that it's contending, but I still think the Halloween one's just a little bit up there because it's.
I personally like her. Is it no? Her OG skin when she was younger, I guess, quote unquote, when all of her hair's down. The blue outfit.
I don't. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't for the life of me can't remember what that event was called. It's not Retribution. Was the one with Blackwatch?
Yeah. Uprising.
Uprising.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah, her Uprising skin is one of my favorites.
It is pretty good.
I should probably grind for that because that's one of the skins I do like for her.
I want all the fucking Asian skins. Those are fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah, those are cool.
Except for Winston. I don't like his.
What's his again?
He's got remember I was talking about Kevin doing the
like the kind of demon looking thing?
The demon thing with the white face paint and the red lines.
Yeah.
He's rocking that.
He's that? Okay.
And it doesn't look great on him. Honestly, I don't like a lot of his skins.
It's a gorilla.
But it's kind of hard to do Winston.
That's true.
I mean, his Yeti one's alright.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But I'm just happy that I got that lunar skin for May and that pajama skin. So
okay, Drum, too close there. Let's back off. Because you could have just like lost most of our.
I mean, no one's watching us. I mean, those downloads are lies. Actually,
some good news. Actually, I want to bring up. Recently, we've actually reached over 200 downloads as of yesterday.
Okay.
200 downloads and 41 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
Like in general,
right?
As a whole.
All right, that's pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy about that, despite what I just said.
Yeah, exactly. You don't sound too ecstatic about that.
Well, it's because it was sarcasm. I sincerely hope we fucking reach 1 million subs at some point. But like, I'm just looking at the reality of the situation. I don't want to say never, but it's gonna be hard, or it's gonna take a long time for us to get there.
Yes, but I don't know. We've been going up exponentially, especially with downloads and all that.
It's true.
I don't know who these 200 people are, but you 200 people are losers.
You're beautiful, foolish losers that watch a couple fuckers just talk about whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, we appreciate you for it.
We appreciate you and we love you.
Right, exactly.
And what we want to talk about is Darling in the Franxx next.
Oh yeah.
So the thing is though,
we always got to get our Franxx plug.
If you don't want any spoilers of what we're about to talk about, because we're going deep, balls deep into this.
Balls deep this time because
with episode 17.
At this point in time, there's too much to dance around.
Exactly. So, unfortunately, if you don't want any spoilers, the podcast is over for you now.
Yeah. So
this is your ending warning.
Right.
So
check our links in the description below. Facebook and Twitter and whatnot.
Yep. As always, guys, make sure to follow us on all social medias.
Yeah.
As always, thank you for always downloading and listening to us.
That's right.
And hopefully we see you next time.
Yeah. Hopefully you talk to you next time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Talk to you next time.
Yeah. Because we can't see anyone yet.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll do some cool shit later, but as of right now, we have to at least gain like 1,000 people.
So we'll give you the benefit of leaving right now.
But yeah, so the episode 17, fucking
Is it 17
yes, 8.
for Darling the Franks? I believe so. Yes. 17.
Yeah, okay. Fatoshi's that boy. Like we were
Okay,
talking about it in the car, but
hold on. Let me say this about it.
sure, go for it.
Futoshi did nothing wrong. Futoshi has never done anything wrong.
And Futoshi hopefully will never do anything wrong unless the writers wants to just throw us for a loop.
I don't know. From this last episode was one of the was I think the defining episode for Futoshi himself, just because of his final decision, what he did.
Oh yeah, so in this episode, I don't know why I'm talking about it this way. If you're watching, you've already seen it.
Yeah.
But so there was a marriage, their little makeshift marriage between Kokoro and Mitsuru, and as much as I was initially against it, I couldn't help feel a little happy. Shut up, leave me alone. But then Futoshi decided, the whole group decided to put this on.
Mm-hmm.
And while they were discussing starting it, Futoshi said he wants to be the priest, while crying.
Exactly.
But, he made the choice not based on, I want to try to get in the way. No, he specifically said, I want to be there to help Kokoro till the end.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this man is fucking devoted.
He wants to see those two be together.
Right, exactly.
He was to be essentially he's the one providing the blessing that I guess, because in all actuality, besides Mitsuru, Futoshi is the only other person that has just as much of a strong feelings towards Kokoro.
Right. I'm still mostly against Kokoro and Mitsuru's relationship because they didn't put any inkling of why they fucking like each other.
No, yeah. See, the thing is, Mitsuru's arc was the weirdest one because his came out of nowhere.
Right.
His is essentially was like plot devised into the series.
We need this to happen, so it did.
It was plot devised in the series just because they could stir up some drama within the group.
Right.
And possibly some of the viewers because we're fucking pissed.
Right, yeah, no, I am.
And
still am.
It worked out in writing, but it's one of the weirdest things.
Right.
Because neither Mitsuru nor Kokoro had any indication, especially Kokoro,
right,
that she was not, or that she was interested in someone else.
I mean, hell, we got hints of it before, but this very episode, we got Ikano confessing her feelings towards Ichigo, and we found out why. And sure, it's because, she gave her a name, all right, that's all they know mostly, so that it's significant for them. That makes sense. They just said, "Hey, Kokoro literally said, "Hey, you."
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, though,
Edge boy.
And I want to do this because it's I wouldn't say it's annoying, but it's sort of it's purely out of pure poor taste.
Yeah.
And people are just riding all over Futoshi for some fucking reason.
I don't get it. There's no reason. He's literally the best thing that came out of this fucking.
He's the only one that's still he's the strongest emotionally strongest one besides Goro. Goro's been wholly onto the fucking slow burn
Goro
for years.
Has been that boy since the beginning.
Yeah, he's been that slow burn boy for years. While Futoshi got the shittiest hand dealt in one episode. But he was so strong about it.
Right.
That he didn't resent Kokoro. He didn't resent Mitsuru.
Right.
If anything, he supported Kokoro, and he challenged Mitsuru because if he accepted Mitsuru as long as he loved her as much as Futoshi did.
Right, exactly. Or looked out for her.
Exactly, to protect her.
Right.
And there's no other reason why you should be riding all over this beautiful
man,
fat boy of bread.
He's not just filled with bread. He's filled with love.
Exactly.
Man, you got to get over that.
And I have to say, I don't want to speculate because a lot of these fucking people are doing the whole thing like, oh, Futoshi's the kind of guy that you say no to and they call you a bitch. No,
he literally didn't.
Or Futoshi's the cuck master because his girl got stolen. No,
kind of. He did.
She walked away from him.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Not just that, but he's
creepy,
or that he's creepy, or that she deserves better, that kind of thing. Or he's so needy, he's being weird because he says, "I love you so much," blah blah blah. But when you think about it, 02 is exactly the same way.
The exact same. In fact, she's worse.
She's a lot more possessive towards Hiro in any other shape or form, characteristics-wise, than Futoshi.
I mean, there literally an episode where she started beating the shit out of everyone because she couldn't see Hiro. She went full yandere.
Exactly.
Because she couldn't see Hiro.
She went full Yuna. Or, she went full Yuna.
Right, exactly. She was gonna fucking... I don't know if she would have killed them, but...
I think so.
Damn near. But, you got... I don't know if it's specifically our viewers, but this is just a shout-out to all the fuckers that keep saying, our big boy is a creep. He is not. He's one of the best fucking characters in that show.
Exactly. And I want to call out some of you fuckers out there. Now, I'm not trying to pick a fight.
I am.
Well, maybe Geronimo is. Maybe I am too, because it's sort of all out of poor taste. And you know what? I'll just have to say something. I think the reason why these people don't like Futoshi is because they're not as strong as him.
Exactly. I feel that 100%.
The reason why all of you degenerates are going after this bread boy of a masterpiece is because you can never be as strong as Futoshi emotionally.
Exactly.
And be as emotionally endearing as him.
Exactly.
Because despite him being how young he is, he has loved and lost in one episode, and he's also conquered
exactly
at the same time, because he has overcome. He's overcome the reality that's in front of him and has accepted it.
Sure, he still cries about it, but I mean, he's just an emotional boy.
Wouldn't you be sad if your significant other
I'd be
walked
fucking
away?
sad, but
that should be normal response.
I mean, you know what? To be honest, I couldn't fucking do what Futoshi did. That would hurt way too much for me. Exactly. I could not do it. But I applaud him for being able to stick by the person he loves to the bitter end. I feel that 100%. That's fucking great. I wish I was that strong.
Mm-hmm. Futoshi did nothing wrong and has never done anything wrong.
Never do anything wrong. Exactly.
I mean, even at the last point, he protected both of them at the end. Even though it failed, he still tried to protect both of them.
Exactly. He didn't give a fuck. He was in there. He was on it.
So I don't know. So I do know why you people are writing it, because you're not as strong as Futoshi.
Right. Exactly.
And you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you don't like things the way they go about because you can't be like that. You know what? It's okay. But I want to let you know, that's not your thoughts are not the reality. Futoshi is one of the strongest characters in the series.
Exactly.
Both emotionally and possibly, as a character himself. Mm-hmm. He can hold up on his own, and he can be literally taken from 100 to 0, and still come back to work for the 100.
Right, exactly.
They could have played the obvious card of resentment, and then been like, oh, screw Kokoro, or fight Mitsuru because he took her girl. No.
Right. By all means call him what you want, because then he's being a piece of shit.
But he wasn't.
He is being the golden boy.
Exactly. If Goro wasn't there, then it'd be Futoshi.
Exactly.
I mean, if anything, Futoshi should be a prime example for any guy that gets either rejected and or just torn apart in a relationship.
Right.
It's okay to be sad, and it's okay to exert your feelings, but it's also an opportunity for learning and also accepting.
Right. And here's the thing. Newsflash. If you actually cared about this person, you would want them to be happy no matter what they're doing.
Exactly.
Sure, maybe it's not going to work out between you. Maybe, she doesn't like you the same way you like her. But if she's happy, that should be enough for you. Mm-hmm. And for as much as I don't like Kokoro, for Futoshi, he loves her a lot, and he just wants her to be happy, exactly. Even if it's not by him. And it, as long as she's happy, he can deal. And he's
even willing to protect Mitsuru as well.
Exactly.
Despite the differences.
Exactly.
Because he respects him in a regard where they both love Kokoro.
Right.
and he wants to protect both of them because Mitsuru shares the same love as him, and he doesn't want anything to tarnish that because he knows how it feels to lose someone that he loved.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't want that to be upon Mitsuru, despite Kokoro choosing him over Futoshi.
Right. Again, for no reason, but, whatever.
A1's writing has always been dodgy.
That was, yeah.
But besides the Futoshi rant and the clearing, and not just clear, not clearing, but like, misunderstanding of how things, hashtag Futoshi did nothing wrong.
Right, exactly.
As far as the rest of this episode goes,
we got some shit. The result of the wedding was that the fathers decided to say, nah, fuck these two people, erase their memories.
Yeah.
We can't have them being human. Can't have that.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then they all end up at the parasite camp. And that's essentially that's sort of where it ends.
Yeah.
To where Kokoro and Mitsuru got their memories wiped. And they ended up at the camp for a few weeks.
Right, but as we saw that, they were there for. I think they said that Kokoro and Mitsuru had been gone for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at the very end of the episode, we saw Kokoro, look at the ring and look out into the sakura trees and be like, "What sakura? Do I remember something? Am I gonna have a plot point?"
Not just that, but another main plot point that happens in this one is Hachi. Hachi becoming becoming less retarded as usual.
All right, I don't understand what you mean that he's being this way. Like, I don't get it. Like he's been the stoic bald fucker this whole time.
Well, he's always been the stoic bald fucker. Yes, but he's been the character. Okay, it was explained in a Reddit post. I can't bring it up because I don't know where it is because I ran into it. Essentially, he's been the self-aware fucker, but doesn't do anything about it. Like, he's the observer out of all things. Like, I mean, yeah, he's been
literally his job.
That's literally his job. But he's the observer without any influence.
Right.
Meaning that he wasn't indoctrinized to a degree where he still can't feel certain. He has no feelings, obviously.
Well, that's what he says.
But like he understands when people are in pain.
Right.
That's the thing, because it goes back to how. Back when he used to be a parasite as well, with Nana,
right,
and all that, and it shows that it's not like he's not a mindless adult, because if you notice, remember how when Zorome ran into one of the adults, they were kind of like wilted and just kind of aloof about their life and all that.
Yeah.
And granted, Hachi's not old, but Hachi is still he's self-aware to the point where he'll critically think about certain decisions,
right?
Like especially when the Nines came in the the thing and told him that Squad 13 was supposedly exempt from emotional indoctrination,
right?
So he still cares, and he's also understanding of how certain things should be, and doesn't. He kind of wants. It's almost like he wants to help, but he doesn't know how. He
doesn't know how because he doesn't have emotions. That's why there was that scene with where he was looking at Nana saying, if you were the one that was in my, whatever he said, if you were the one that could talk to them right now, I bet you would have something better to say than I could.
Exactly, and I think he's a key in all this when it comes to at least the parasite camp,
right?
Because obviously right now the squad can't like bust out with their franks and all that,
right?
Just despite their feelings, because Papa's watching over. The Nines are pretty combative, which I never thought of.
Beat the shit out of fucking 0-2.
I mean, that's not fair. That you literally have 9 people versus 1.
Yeah, but like when she was just fighting 1, she still couldn't fight that well.
That's true.
So I don't think.
If she had the tentacles like her sister or whoever the classical queen was.
We're hoping that she's a sister.
I would hope so. She's that she looks young.
Yeah. And
I think they aged about the same from what it seems like.
Yeah.
Because 0-2 doesn't look like she ages at a weird pace. So it's like she ages like a normal.
Well,
rate.
we don't really know how they age yet, because remember, we saw that Miku had gray hair.
Oh yeah, they never brought that back.
Granted, no, you don't get gray hair until you're about like 23, 24. Depending on your genetics.
And also stress.
Stress, too.
I mean, they're fighting for their lives. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that would gray out.
But no, but I do think Hachi would be a key when it comes to discovering more about what's or helping out everyone else as far as what's gonna happen to the rest of the squad.
Right.
And also even be a factor in helping Kokoro and Mitsuru get the memories back.
Right.
As well.
Well, I don't know if they're gonna help with that. I feel like that's just gonna kind of happen naturally because I do believe that they're probably gonna make they're probably gonna make Futoshi and Kokoro be partners again, and they're gonna make Mitsuru and Ikuno be partners again. But I don't know if I don't think it's gonna be anything with him. I definitely think it's gonna be that just through character interaction that they're gonna get it back or something. Dramatic's gonna happen. I mean, it could involve Hachi. That'd be interesting, but I don't think it'll involve him. Or maybe something that him and Nana will do something in that.
Because I mean, that last scene with Hachi is I feel like it's sort of out of place for them to just do that with no reason behind it.
What do you mean? Like when he
for Hachi having his own monologue and then flashing back to when they were parasites.
Right,
and all that.
Right. Well, it's because it's gonna be important at some point. So actually no. Now I'm thinking about it that way. You're probably right. And something might happen.
And they're the only two that have been working closely with the Doctor so far up until now.
Right.
Because Franks has been have been testing around with Squad 13 all this time, and with Nana and Hachi being like the main mediators of that entire squad.
Right.
So, I feel like they're gonna have a big play soon. Mm-hmm. Not anytime soon, but maybe down the line.
It'll probably be. Let's see. What are we? Episode 17, 20.
I mean,
21.
I mean, would it be cool to see them bust out in a Franks?
Oh, it would be so fucking cool. But I feel like they have a death flag.
Maybe Nana.
Speaking of fucking death flag, so we were talking about how before, that scene that happened in the first episode is gonna be at the very end of the series when everything's all happy and shit.
Yeah.
It happened this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm like, anyone could fucking go now.
Anything goes at this point.
Exactly.
Like shit.
I'm actually kind of worried. Like when I saw that, I'm like, wait a second, no, shit, whoopo.
This is the scene.
This is it.
Now at this point, we have no other we have no future reference. Right now, we have the opening.
Right, exactly.
As something to predict and lead off on.
Right, that's all we have, and from what it looks like in the opening, 02's gone somewhere.
Exactly.
And maybe Hero's got to get her back or something. Because of the end of the song is they're hugging and she just disappears.
But as far as like
she just fucking
Infinity War's out.
Infinity War's out. I still have to see that movie.
As far as like Squad goes, I don't think anyone else is gonna. The only two people that I do see with death flags would be Ikino and Futoshi. Like I feel like they're gonna go down in battle. Both in one in protecting everyone else and dying in the process. Because they both honestly have nothing else to live for. Not as a bad thing to say, because they both had their closures. Both Ikuno's had her closure by being formally rejected from Ichigo.
Right.
And Futoshi literally married off Kokoro and Mitsuru.
Right.
So they both have nothing else.
Kind of in their point to their. I don't want to say the point to their character, but their importance has kind of been done.
They were able to reach both their closures, and honestly, the best thing if they were to die at this point, it would be because they're protecting the ones they love.
Right.
In this case, despite what went down. So, if anyone has to die, it would probably be Ikuno and Futoshi together in their Franks.
Right. I want again. We've mentioned it, or at least I've mentioned it before that I'm kind of sad that there's not much happening with Zorome and Miku.
Yeah, because we're really close to the end here.
Right.
Like we're 5 episodes left.
And they both Zorome did have that interaction with the adult, but that was less for him and more for us.
Yeah. That was only one episode too.
Right, that was only one episode. And Miku kind of had something. I mean, they do have their attachment to the fathers.
Yeah, that's the one thing they both share.
So something's probably gonna happen with that, and then that's it.
Because the papas have been really involved as of recent
Right.
because of the whole classical princess and all that.
Right. So I don't know. I wish they did more with them because I mean, granted, they're both the kind of rambunctious. They're both tsundere.
Yeah. And they are essentially made for each other.
Yeah, so I mean, I wish there was more done with them, but something's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. If they just kind of let their characters whatever out, it's gonna be disappointing and bad writing on their part. But I think something's gonna happen.
Oh, but what I know, the preview came out for it, and we're gonna get more classical princess.
Ooh, boy, I didn't watch. I should have watched the preview. I watched it this morning before work, so I didn't have time.
Mm. But yeah, we're gonna get some more classical princess and also a younger Dr. Franks.
Ooh, okay. So this is the past.
This is an origin story now.
Flashback. I'm all for it because obviously we want to know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
As much as we've been told and I guess hinted at, there's still a lot that we don't know. Yeah. Like,
because look, remember when 02 had her flashback this last episode too?
Yeah.
Or no, not a flashback. It was a PTSD moment.
Yeah.
With like her past parasite pilots and also the giant hand kind of just smacking down saying what's up. So that was it's not a start out of nowhere, but it
means something.
We honestly don't know a lot about 02 herself,
right?
Besides her past, but after that, nothing else. Like
we don't know what she is. We know there's probably some. They told her that she was part Klaxor.
Yeah.
So that's as far as we got.
Like, is she direct, like, blood relation to the princess? Or is she experimentation from the princess's blood?
Right, or, like, whatever bullshit.
Or
why is she red? Why is she blue?
Exactly. Or were they both experiments and princess got away and started waging war against humanity because of experiments? It could have been that.
What's in the fucking Klaxors? Because there was one scene where we saw what looked like a fucking golden fetus.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, are they mechs? Are the classical swords mechs as well?
Right.
Of, like, a race of of Oni people.
Some weird fucking thing where, I don't know, this is...
And the classical princesses, like main classicals are, like, a snake and a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And then apparently, I mean, I don't know if, from what happened in the last episode? Yeah, the last episode when some of the fathers went to go meet her.
Yeah.
When we got our first look at her.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they were working together on something, kind of, but it just went wrong.
Yeah, horribly wrong.
So I don't know what the shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's messed up because the bodyguards that were with them were actually people, while Papa's there were just like hollow shells.
Yeah.
They didn't actually die.
Well, I mean, we don't know what they are. They might just be brains in a robot, or
because even the classical princess was like want to be humans.
Right, that's true.
So that shows you that the papas are actually like they're not human to some degree.
Mm.
We don't know what that is. We don't know why. We know they're in space.
Yeah, because
they were up there while the Nines were snitching on Squad 13.
Yep. Daddy's little boys.
Boys let to go in prone.
That's right. Jesus. The fact that that's how they pilot fucking baffles me. I guess it doesn't baffle me, but I think
isn't that what you wanted?
It is.
For Hero.
I really wanted that with Hero because that would have been hilarious. But because it's weird because it looks like every 9 does that. So what? You already know what we're referencing. If you're still watching. I gotta remember that. But, fucking... It would make sense, because if she was part of the 9s, then that would obviously be her position.
Right.
But that's not how it went down, unless the first time they piloted, that's how it went down.
Maybe. Yeah.
Which is why he doesn't remember. Because it was I don't know.
She's wearing a suit, though.
It's true.
She's literally wearing the suit that has to be that... It has to be the pistol.
That is true.
So
I don't know.
Maybe. I would. I would be so uncomfortable if I was asked to pilot a Franks and I was the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, you get to be this robot.
I am
this robot.
I am in doggy style piloting this thing with my balls just hanging out, and the console being my back.
You don't pay attention to that, cause it's not you're a robot.
You get the pilot mech. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I pilot a mech. Oh, what position are you? What are you asking? I don't. You don't need to know that. I just pilot it. Just know I pilot it.
Yeah.
You know, I have to draw this weird comparison just because it's sort of, it's parallel. Now, I remember I mentioned this months before. So it's been a while. Months before. During the beginning of Darling the Franxx, where I said that Darling the Franxx kind of gave me a bit of a Eureka 7 vibe.
How so?
Well, one thing because the setting, and it was sort of like a weird kind of feeling where you're in this hopeless world and there's a cause that has to be fought, and the main character is still having to do it. Now, but hold on.
I mean, in this situation though, we don't know what cause there is.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I after watching everything up until this far, I recently went back to that thought and said to myself, "There's a lot of parallels with Eureka 7." Because you know why? Both series have mechs. It's an obvious thing. Yeah. Both mechs requires 2 pilots. Actually.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you take a look at the model kit I have here, there's that one right there. The yellow one, it's 2, so it's like a plane, and also the other one, they're 2 side by side.
Okay, I got you.
Both have weird, like, out of this world alien like creatures that terrorize the human world.
Right.
Whereas in Darling the Franxx is the Kloskosaurs, and in Eureka 7 there's like these weird jellyfish looking monsters that come out of the ground and suck people's souls out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird.
All right.
Both have 2 main characters that were incompetent at the beginning, but have hold true their potential towards the end. Because Rant in Eureka 7 was completely useless until he had a reevaluation of himself.
Well, I mean, but Hero wasn't incompetent. He just couldn't. I mean, I guess you could compare that with incompetence in the situation, because he can't ride with anyone but Zero Two.
And not just that, but when he found he couldn't ride at all, he let that go to his head as well.
That's true.
Both have main heroines that are part of the attacking force against humanity, because Eureka is also part jellyfish alien thing.
Spoilers if you didn't know. For Eureka 7.
Eureka 7 was like 11 years old.
I didn't watch it, Joe Mal. You spoiled it for me.
I'm sorry. And if you have 02 as part of Kloskosaur, as we already know,
right?
And both have like major organizations, I guess in this case, like apes in this case, and I forget what the other one is called, that are trying to harness the powers of said attacking force for themselves.
Well,
I don't know. It's a weird comparison I came across because it's just, I don't know if they're like normal things, but I found it funny. I just found it really funny how these comparisons.
But I mean, you could also make that same comparison with Gurren Lagann, if you think about it.
Oh, no, I thought only Kaminas and Simons were the only one that had multi-pilots.
Sure, but there's that theme, and eventually every 50,000 people pilot one mech.
Let them figure. You can't use the same. You can't use the same studio. You can't. You're like, oh, well, they'll just Kill a Kill, but like same studio, motherfucker.
It's just Kill a Kill with robots.
Exactly. There was one mech in Kill a Kill. It was that fucking blind dude.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, his star was his mech.
And then fucking what was his name? Our boy, big boy. From Kill a Kill. It starts with a G. Fuck, what's his name? I loved him so much. G-Man.
G-Man.
He fucking
Gundam.
His whole MO, he was essentially a fucking mech.
Yeah, essentially.
Like anytime he transformed, he was this big fucking whatever. Like I fucking loved him so much. I almost had it. I don't remember his name.
Ginza.
Giga Drill Breaker.
But I just wanted to say that because I just found those comparisons really similar, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I just found it to be like, oh, it's almost like they're bringing back older elements in a refreshing way with this.
I mean, remember, Jomo, nothing's original.
Nothing's original, yes. Mm-hmm. Nothing is original. But, I loved Rekka 7, that's why. I loved it to death, where I watched all 50 episodes, 3 times within my lifetime. And I'd say I would want to go back to Darling the Franxx after its conclusion, maybe sometime this later year or next year or so, because it's one of those where I like the drama enough where I can go back and rewatch it without having the same heartbreak. Because I mean, of course there's obvious differences between like a Rekka 7 and like Darling the Franxx, whereas like a
the whole puberty fucking thing.
And humanity's not completely at a loss in a Rekka 7
right
at that point, and she has kids and all that,
which the second series is about or something, isn't it? Or no, this is 50 something years later.
No, this is like kids in the first series. Like, she adopted like 3 kids before, when she used to be a inhumane weapon.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
She adopted some kids when she joined Gecko State and all that.
This is when she was still a teenager, though.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. There's some obvious differences, and then like, obviously, the Gecko State and the Rekka 7 are like a ragtag team of hooligans and delinquents that are going against the man and all this. In this case, Squad 13 has their own, like, they're unique because they're different from like any other squad.
Right.
But they're not like a ragtag team.
They're special snowflakes. They got to keep their emotions.
Yes, their emotions and their genitalia. Well,
everyone else did. That's why I don't know if that's why they can pilot, but only.
No,
normally
did Nana say that? It's
what?
Because it's the reason why it's necessary to pilot Franxx.
Yes.
Like their reproductive organs.
Something like that. Because Dr. Franxx is weird.
Hey, looking at him, he's half mech.
Yeah. Maybe he was trying to do whatever the apes did, but then he stopped and like, nah, I'm not about this.
Yeah, exactly. And then just like, that's right, I'm going solo. I'm doing my own.
I'm gonna make a fucking sex robot.
I'm doing my own indie tours.
But no, I can't wait for more to be revealed, because as far as we know, Franxx created the robots. Only boys and girls can pilot them. Normally in the guy piloting the girl, but in the Nine's case, they're different. The fathers aren't human. They're trying to work with humanity to do something, but obviously it's not to further humanity's cause. It's just to like keep them alive or evolve. Maybe some evolution bullshit.
Ikeno accept that it's okay to be gay.
Ikeno accepted that it's okay to be gay, and she's that girl.
Exactly.
She was that girl before. Well, we knew she was gay, but she became that girl last episode.
Futoshi did nothing wrong.
Klaxor Princess is a fucking cutie. She's a cutie patootie. Red tomatoes are cute. What else do we know? Like, hardcore know about the series. Like, what fact can we just say that this is a thing in the show that we know? Outside of what we mentioned.
I don't think there's anything else. I mean, Kokoro and Mitsuru are pretty much mind wiped right now.
Right, but I guess we don't know this for sure, but we're pretty sure they had sex and probably pregnant.
I would hope
that's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen with that.
I mean, I would hope so, really, because at least over time I softened up against Kokoro. Mitsuru was still weird because he came out of nowhere, so I'm sort of confused with him.
Yeah.
Boy, where have you been? You like, let me backtrack a little bit. Has everyone forgotten all the bad he's done? Like, he literally tried to steal Hiro's partner.
Yeah.
He tried to steal 02 from him because he was like, "Hey, fuck you, I'm stealing your girl."
Right.
And he didn't want anything to do with Kokoro, yet she chose him.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I'm butthurt. Is just because like their situation makes no sense at all.
Exactly.
But they're just going along.
They've had one interaction. I looked through past all the episodes. They've had one interaction together. That was before they were lovey-dovey. Mm-hmm. It was the beach episode when Kokoro wandered off and Kokoro was about to be smashed against some wood planks, and he was there to pull her back and say, "Watch yourself, because you'll get hurt." That was the only time they had any mutual interactions with each other.
Now, if someone wants to argue that because they don't have much in their lives outside of piloting Franks, that one little interaction is what made her fall in love with him, and be like, all right, fine, but fuck you. That's not real.
That's lazy writing.
That's lazy writing. But then you can again argue it's lazy writing to say, oh, Ikuno likes Ichigo because she named her.
Same thing with like Mitsuru hating Hiro because of the promise.
He broke a promise that was never gonna happen.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you wanna argue it's because they have little nothing to their lives and little things like that can sway their emotions, sure, but it's still stupid.
I mean, I'm blaming anyone writing it, whether it's A1 or Trigger. I feel like it'd be Trigger because Trigger does like their weird ass writing schemes.
But see, it makes sense. Well,
no, it doesn't. Explain Gurren Lagann. Explain Gurren Lagann to me right now. How did that ending justify anything?
She was a part of the space people.
No, she wasn't. She was mind controlled.
She was created by them.
I thought only part of her I thought only a part of them created her. Because it was fucking bald dude. Her father was the one that created her. Remember?
Yes.
Because
she was special.
She was special because she was just like all the other daughters that were incompatible with life in the fucking.
Well, no, they were all drills.
tower.
Remember, they turned into drills. They turned into his mech, or little keys for his mech. They were all his core drills, except for her. For a reason.
But she
was created by the anti-spiral. She was the most human out of all of them, but at the same time she wasn't.
But how about fucking bald dude, her father?
He
was anti-spiral too.
No, he wasn't. He was a spiral.
Was he spiral?
He was the spiral king.
That's true.
He was overflowing with spiral power. That's why his head was on fire. Fucking, that was just pure willpower radiating out of his head. All right, I won't pretend that Gurren Lagann makes sense. All right, but at least
they're throwing galaxies at each other like frisbees.
And at least they don't skip over that much.
I guess.
All right, they have a reason for things happening, kind of.
So I can get butthurt at the end.
So you can get butthurt at the end when shit just falls apart.
When she literally Infinity War.
She fucking gets Infinity War'd.
Like, no, it's not okay.
It's not okay. I don't like. I wish it didn't happen, but that's why it happened. You have a reason to why it happened. You don't know. We don't know why Kokoro likes Mitsuru. We don't know why. There's no reason for her to like her.
They never explained that. She was about to explain it, but they never went back to it. Remember?
No, they didn't.
He was like, "Why did you choose me?" He was like, "Out of pity," and she was like, "No, it wasn't that." And then, before she said anything, get out. Plot convenience.
Exactly. And I fucking hate that. I'm blaming A1.
You're blaming A1?
Trigger can do no wrong. They have Axe Cup. They have Inferno Cup. You can't do wrong.
Inferno Cup should be a prime example as to how them making sense doesn't make any sense.
But see, they don't have to.
So you're justifying you're justifying the feelings here.
No. See, when things don't make sense with Trigger, it works out.
How does it work out now?
It's not. We're arguing about it. No one questioned whatever the fuck happened in Gurren Lagann or Kill la Kill.
I don't know. I feel like people did during that time. And then
did they though? Did they really?
I questioned it.
Or was Trigger so good they were like?
It triggered me. I'll say that much. That ending triggered me.
Yeah, it was sad, but that's the point. But we knew why she died. It's because she was a part of the anti-spiral. The anti-spirals died, or the god, whatever he. Shut up! You're not proving my point.
Well, all I'm saying is this: how does anything that's happened in Darling in the Franxx result to Kokoro liking Mitsuru?
It doesn't.
That's the question. That's the question of America right now.
That is the problem.
Other than that, it's how did Donald Trump become president? That's the only other question after that. Point is though, No one knows why Kokoro likes Mitsuru. They don't bother explaining why.
They probably... Now I'm thinking, if they fall in love again, they might revisit it.
I would hope so. I hope this is sort of a good clean slate for them to say, all right, let me explain why.
Or like, again, you can literally throw whatever happened in there when they were children at me, because we've already had that thus
exactly.
far.
Or even like what happened last week. No, because if right now the trend is they will fall for somebody if they do something nice for someone else.
Right.
In this case,
and I don't
know how Futoshi didn't win her heart. I'm just saying, since he was literally Big Daddy-O of the love boat, saying, "We do great together. Let's do a good job. I love you."
Exactly. Fucking, I don't get it, but like it just. At this point in time, it's just plot convenience, and I can't accept that until it's explained. And if it's not explained,
drama feed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Mitsuru. No offense to him or anything, but
no, fuck him. I don't like Mitsuru.
See, again, Mitsuru is
he's so. All right, so we have blank main characters, right? We have blank characters,
right?
We have most main characters in like harem ecchi animes are as normal as you could possibly be, and you even have blank characters that are that's their point is to be blank. But Mitsuru is like this special kind of uninteresting. Like he has nothing going for him at all. Like before, when he was edgy, he was at least edgy. Now he's just kind of boy. Like that's it. That's all he is.
I mean, he got laid.
Oh boy, man. You lucky him.
They don't even know what it is.
It just kind of worked out.
You kind of have to wonder, was Hachi and Nana also watching? And they let it go. They literally just let it go.
That's a good question. Because they had room. I don't think they had cameras in the room.
No, they probably do. Again, they said they know what's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as privacy in like a post-apocalyptic world where little children pilot.
I might have to go back to that scene where Ichigo was talking to them and see, because you got to look at their cameras and what they were looking at. So I don't remember if one of those cameras was in a room, because if it was, then they saw it. There's no fucking way they didn't.
But back to your point,
we need closure on why. Well, one, Mitsuru sucks. Well, but two, we need to know why Kokoro likes him.
Yeah, because we know why Mitsuru changed because of Kokoro. But why did Kokoro change? There was no indicator. She was literally feeding Futoshi honey bread because they were copying 02.
Right, and like that's fucking cute. Like you just rip that away, and like if you want, like, I guess if they want to argue like, the whole time she wasn't really into it, she was just doing it to please him. I'm like,
not just that. I honestly think so. The one thing I could say would be a defending factor would be like Kokoro, by nature is a motherly individual. Yeah. So she probably just saw Futoshi as someone she wants to take care of as well, like a child. Like literally like a child or like a son or something. And she's there because of the mutuality that they care for each other in a way that they can take care of each other. It's very utilitarian. But not in a sense where it's romantic.
Yeah, I got you.
Whereas what Futoshi developed into.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't explain how Mitsuru came into the picture.
It doesn't. That's the problem. There's no indication.
Maybe
unless the only thing they have is that because he saved her. That's it.
Well, how about the injection? There was also some concern when he was getting the injection.
Right, but
that was after he was getting. No, that was after he was trying to cuck Hiro.
Right. I don't know. And again, they're gonna, because we didn't get anything of Kokoro when she was little. We've gotten everybody else. Right?
No.
We didn't get Zorome and Miku. I don't think we have.
Or Futoshi.
Yeah,
it was only the main people so far.
Only the main people. So maybe something happened with Kokoro and Mitsuru when they were younger.
I mean, Mitsuru was kind of a gay kid,
Yeah, he was. I don't know.
All I'm saying is that Futoshi did nothing wrong because you guys didn't explain shit with Kokoro, and I don't want to. I've softened for Kokoro over the past few episodes just because I like her character type, and also her character herself isn't really she's wrong. She's done what she's done is wrong in a sense where there's an order of things. She's not a bad.
She is. She broke her promise on purpose. You want to know something ironic?
What?
She hasn't been able to keep any of her promises to anyone that's claimed to love her.
How so?
She didn't keep Futoshi's promise, and she didn't keep Mitsu's promise.
What?
Because they got fucking.
Well, they got. I mean, the only thing she has now is her kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm saying is that Kokoro is someone that I want to believe in. Is despite everything she's done and despite her aloofness. Now, there's also another argument as well that there was an argument as well that she was backed into the corner with that promise.
I guess because yes, Futoshi is a very emotional person. He likes to put his he wears his emotions on his sleeve. If he's feeling some way, you'll generally know about it, minus the whole bulimic thing. But
that only applies if he was actually being forceful.
Right. All he said was that, hey, I want to pie with you forever. I love you. And she could have said no, or she could have not said anything, or literally anything.
There's another thing as well. It's also her fault. I'm not trying to white knight her right now.
Right.
Because she couldn't speak out. She didn't want to speak. She didn't want to speak her actual feelings. So this is the result. This is why the thing she's done is wrong.
Right.
Because
you can argue, yes, she did grow as a person. She did. Kudos to her. She did grow as a person. Now she's able to do that. But you can't. You have to understand our frustration when you have a character that's 100% and you have this half-asser.
Exactly.
And you're like, all right. He's here. Where are you at?
And not only that, this 100%er is not doing anything forceful as well.
Right.
Like, if anything, it's more like he's just trying to do his best, while at the same time being able to give enough for the other person.
Mm-hmm.
He's not forcing anything on her. He's always if anything, he's always concerned for her first, other than himself.
Right.
It's always her first, within him.
Right. Because he actually genuinely loves her.
Exactly. Now, Mitsu's developed the same kind of love, as we already know.
Yes, and, I want to hate it, but it's...
You can hit on him, because he's still an asshole. Because
I'm starting to soften up on Kokoro, because this whole... it was happy. I don't know. I can't give her a pass yet, but, it's kind of whatever now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happens. I'm fine with Mitsu still dying though, because I still don't like him. Just because they
180'd him so hard.
They did it too hard.
Where he literally doesn't look like the different. He looks completely different now.
I mean, yeah. One, he got his hair cut, and two, like, all right, so there's an amount of personality that doesn't just change because of something was resolved. So he was fucking edgy. Oh, too bad. He was that piece of shit, and I'm like, all right, fuck
hero,
him right
I'm
now.
I'm better than you, hero. I'm gonna pilot her instead of you.
But like, just because that's gone, the part that was doing it is gone, doesn't mean like, oh, let me just fucking, hey, now I'm a whole new fucking character. Like, no.
We also don't know why he was so antsy that day as well during the partner shuffle. Remember how he wasn't just feeling it?
Oh yeah, They don't explain shit. That's the problem. They're not explaining these things. Now, if they're gonna explain later, sure. But like, I don't know. It's not good enough.
But if any of you listeners have anything to maybe argue back, saying that we're wrong, because we're not actually. But
I mean, I definitely know we're not wrong.
Feel free to indulge yourself in an argument against us. How Futoshi is permanently the wrongest person for Kokoro, and he's a creepo individual that doesn't deserve anything, which is also wrong.
Right. Or if any of our previous points with the Hentai Haven or the Overwatch or the Olympics, stuff like that.
If you want to talk about us about any of those subjects, please tweet at us or Facebook us.
Facebook, tweet,
or comment down below.
Yeah.
Or send us a voicemail or email.
Someone commented on our last video. Was it our last one?
I saw that.
Yeah, it was the con one. Someone commented, but I don't know who it was.
I have to look back on that.
Yeah, I don't.
But
thank you, commenter. Yeah. I responded to you. That was me.
Yes, thank you. We should probably label comments just either Jerron or me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because
But we've been running.
That's about the best way to do that.
But we've been running for a while. Thank you guys. As always, thank you for downloading and listening to us. We are doing our best every week to get you all the latest and greatest content. Support us in any way possible. Share it with your friends. Share it with your grandma. Share it with anyone else.
Well, careful with your grandma. Remember that discussion we had about
certain animes to other people?
Show her the 30%.
There we go. Follow us on all of these social medias: Facebook,
Twitter,
YouTube.
Watch us on iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, wherever else there's an RSS feed.
And Stitcher as well.
And Stitcher. And find our Patreon.
Yeah. Our Patreon is still up there. I still haven't updated it because I'm a piece of shit. I can probably give you some stuff to do as well, Teron.
Yeah, I haven't fucking done anything but manage the Facebook page.
I'm sorry. But as always, guys, my name's Jamal Socorro.
My name's Ron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for life.
Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.